Hey guys, how are you? This is Abel Tejeda with American Mortgage Group. If you're in the market for either buy a house or refinance your property, these are the questions you should always be asking your lender. The first question you should always be asking your lender is, what is my interest rate? This is important obviously because interest rate determines what your mortgage payment is going to be, at least the principal and interest portion of it. You should always be discussing with your lender up front what your interest is going to be. That way, at the end of escrow, you know what your payment you're getting. Because if they don't disclose it right away, you might end up with a payment much higher than you thought you were going to be getting. The second question you should ask is, what is my monthly mortgage payment? This is not just your principal and interest payment. When you buy a house or when you have a mortgage, you should always account for PITI, which stands for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Most people, and actually I know a lot of lenders that just give you the PI payment. But at the end of the day, you should know what your global payment is going to be. That way you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Here in San Diego, property rates or property tax rates are around 1.25%. So you should always take that into consideration as well as your insurance payment. Number three, or the third question is my interest rate fixed or adjustable? This is very important because, well, if you get a fixed payment or a fixed rate, your payment is going to be the same throughout the whole term. But if you get an adjustable rate mortgage or an ARM, that's the loan that a lot of people were getting 10 years ago, back in 2007, that got them in trouble. So if you want to make sure that your payment is going to be consistent throughout the whole term, make sure you get a fixed rate. Next, you should always be asking what fees are involved with the transaction. This is the same if you're buying or if you're refinancing. You should always be asking if the transaction involves any points being charged to you, because just 1%, that means that it's 1% of the loan amount. So if you're getting a $400,000 property, they're charging you 1% upfront fee just to do the loan. That's costing you $4,000. So this is something very important, especially if you're buying a house, because those fees are part of your closing costs. So if they're charging you upfront fees, obviously your closing cost will be much greater. Next, you should always be asking your lender if the loan you're getting, may it be a fixed or an adjustable rate, if it has a prepayment penalty. You have to be very careful, because if the loan has a prepayment penalty, you're going to be stuck with that loan for whatever the term of that penalty is. Sometimes those penalties can be between 3 to 5%. So do the math. If it's a $300,000 property, it's going to cost you between $9,000 to $15,000 to get out of that loan. So make sure you see and you check through the lending portion of the loan to make sure that you don't have any prepayment penalties. If you're buying a house, you should always ask your lender, what is the minimum required down payment? And this is dictated by what type of loan you're getting. If you're getting a conventional loan, down payment might be between 5 to 20%. Obviously 20% if you want to avoid paying mortgage insurance. If you're getting an FHA loan, their minimum is 3.5. You should always be going into the transaction knowing exactly how much down payment to come in with. Now, talking about private mortgage insurance, PMI or MI, if that's an FHA, always ask your lender if the loan you're getting has mortgage insurance. Give us a call and I can actually go over everything that has to do with private mortgage insurance, because it's a little bit more complicated than just explaining the questions, but I can take the time and break it down for you. But always make sure, because that is a portion of your payment on top of the PITI. So if you're not coming in with 20%, that is something you should always be aware of. And the last question you should always be asking your lender is, do you have any other products that offer a lower interest rate? This is very important, because when getting a loan, it's not a one-size-fits-all. There are different options. So always discuss with your lender what options you have available and what it is or what type of products you can get to be able to get a lower mortgage payment. Thank you for watching my video about what questions to always ask your lender. If you have any questions about the lending process, or if you would like to set up an appointment to see how much it is that you qualify for, or what options you have with refinancing your home, give me a call or fill out one of my applications. This is Abel Tejeda with American Mortgage Group. Thank you for watching again.